In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact strategies that you can use to make sure you actually turn a profit on Amazon. As an Amazon seller, it's going to be really easy for your profit margins to slip a little lower than you'd like. So during this video, I've got a bunch of different strategies that I've used in my Amazon business as a way to make sure that my profit margin stays higher. And for those of you guys who have done a little bit of online arbitrage sourcing, I'm sure you've come across storefronts where you're wondering how they could possibly be making money at those prices. So in this video, we're going to be jumping into some of the strategies that those storefronts are using to actually make a profit. But if you're brand new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller. And after you watch this video, you're going to be a lot more equipped to go out there and source products that are actually going to be profitable on Amazon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into today's video. So the first thing you can do to increase your profit margins on Amazon, this is probably the most obvious example, something we'll talk about today. We'll get more and more advanced as we go throughout the video. So if these are basic at the start, be sure to stick around. But this first thing that you want to think about is just shopping on sales, right? So for example, right now, I think it's like the last day of the Nike sale while I'm recording this video. So I just go ahead and I jump into Nike.com over here. There's a bunch of stuff on sale. There's probably a bunch of great inventory still left, even though it's kind of towards the end of this sale. But something I want to briefly talk about real quick is making sure you're buying items that are on sale, right? It just makes sense that that's going to add an extra level of moat around your product. So it's going to make it harder for other people to come in and copy your products. Because right now, all this stuff is 25% off with this code. And if you are looking at this item tomorrow or a week from now, it's probably going to be a little bit more expensive. And so people aren't going to be able to as easily copy that item. And so the reason that this is the first one, it's probably the most basic, and that's definitely not going to be all you're going to ever have to worry about. If it was easy as just finding stuff that was on sale, we'd all be very, very wealthy. That is not the case, unfortunately. But I do want to briefly talk about how when you're looking through these sites with coupons, something that I'll do, especially on sales like Nike, where it's a ton of resellers kind of go towards this website here, look through all these items. Something I will say is to look out for these prices right here. So look out for the items that are already on sale. So something like these Prestos or whatever, they're not on sale. They're just 25% off. That's probably not going to be an amazing deal compared to what the prices are on Amazon. But when you're looking at something like, you know, these bras here or this shoe over here, they are already on sale. Plus we can get an extra 25% off with this coupon. So I'm a much bigger fan of buying these items like this, where it's on sale and it has a coupon compared to just having a coupon here. It's all about having those extra layers of moat, right? So we know for sure that tomorrow that this coupon's going to go away. We are hoping that this sale would also go away, right? So maybe after Cyber Monday, a lot of this stuff that's on sale right now ends up not being on sale, and then it's going to make it way harder for other people to copy kind of your product ideas and then go and sell those on their own Amazon stores. So as you're sourcing through, definitely make sure to take advantage of coupons, sales, all that good stuff is probably the easiest way to pad your margins. And especially when you're talking about buying stuff from like Walmart or Target, all that good stuff that's at retail price, there's no real way to get coupons or anything like that on there. I would be way more careful buying items like that compared to items on this sale where we can get that coupon plus a sale. It's going to be a lot harder for other people to go in and buy that because the products we're buying from Walmart and Target are always that price. So it's a lot easier for people to go in and see where you bought those items from. The next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is another fairly basic concept, but very, very important. We've racked up a ton of free extra money just by using services like Rakuten. And so the way that these work, if you're super unfamiliar, you go ahead and just check out something like this. We go ahead and click Nike, where we're looking at this Nike sale over here. And then once you go ahead and shop on Nike.com, looking through this same sale, buying those same products you probably would have bought anyway, using those discounts, all that good stuff, Rakuten is going to go ahead and give you a little bit of extra money. Right now is an awesome time while I'm recording this, 15%, 10%, 10%, lots of super high percentages. And so as me and my team are sourcing through products, a lot of times we'll actually start from Rakuten and go ahead and look at the stores that have super, super high cash back. So Ulta is another great example of that. They're not often running a 10% cash back. There was also some Cyber Monday sales, extra coupons we could add on top of that. And so those are all great ways to add extra moats around your product. And so next week, when somebody goes in there and tries to buy those things that we bought from Ulta, it's just not going to be profitable to buy that same exact item. When you're comparing it to that Walmart item we're talking about, somebody else could go in, buy that same Walmart item next week, retail price, and just as easily be able to compete with you. And so on the topic of cashback, I also want to go ahead and talk about this site right here. If you have not ever seen this site before, basically it aggregates a lot of the cashback providers. So there's Rakuten, but there's also a ton of other cashback providers. Don't just use Rakuten. I know this is kind of the popular one, but Capital One Shopping is a great one. Top Cashback is a great one. And so let's say, for example, you're shopping at Adidas today, right? So you can go ahead and click through here and you can see the absolute highest percentage that anyone is offering. So if you were just using Rakuten, maybe you're getting 10% off today. That's great, right? You're getting 10% in that cash back. But if you had gone the extra mile, checked check the top cashback, especially checking cashback monitor here. You can go ahead and throw on top cashback, get 16% cashback instead. And this is actually one of my favorites as well. Top cashback, kind of under the radar a little bit compared to Rakuten at least. And I've had a lot of success getting my money from top cashback. So definitely make sure you're taking advantage of sites like this. Make sure you're leveraging every extra percentage you can possibly get, because it really all adds up, especially in the arbitrage game where everyone's selling the same stuff. The biggest game you can play is winning the price game, and cashback, coupons, all that good stuff's gonna help you do that. Another thing that's gonna boost your profit margins on Amazon is taking advantage of loyalty rewards programs. This is a big one. I've had some of my favorite flips happen on loyalty rewards programs. For example, the Ulta beauty sale, kind of what we were talking about there. And they have like a rewards program where anytime you spend money on Ulta.com, you go ahead and get points and you can redeem those points for money off, right? And so especially on sites where you're able to kind of buy, consistently earn points on Ulta, right? And then you can consistently go in there and redeem it. So when you're looking at these loyalty rewards programs, a lot of times you'll just go ahead and use this on free inventory. You can also use some points for yourself every now and then. But with these loyalty programs, make sure you don't bake it into your margin unless you're super confident in the fact that they're going to pay out, all that good stuff. I would really just kind of treat these as kind of bonus money, you know, free inventory, unless you're consistently every single time getting paid out, getting these rewards points redeemed. A lot of times you can just end up with some headaches if you are considering that as part of your margin, especially if you're not able to consistently redeem it. I know I've ended up in some headaches every now and then, kind of including loyalty rewards points, and then my account got banned, all that kind of stuff. So I definitely don't want that to be you, especially if you're a beginner. But with all that said, using loyalty rewards programs, so right here, every time you spend some money, you get some points, and then for 1,000 points, you get 50 bucks off, right? So that's a 50 bucks in free inventory. It seems like a great way to go ahead and rack up some extra money. So it's 1 point per dollar, looks like 1,000 points. So if you spend 1,000 bucks, you get 50 bucks for free, basically. And if your business is pretty small right now, that might sound like an insane number to go ahead and hit just to get 50 bucks, but all that kind of stuff really does add up. And kind of when we're talking about cashback, like the cashback from my Amazon business alone pays for all of my living expenses. Some of these loyalty rewards programs have paid for a lot of free inventory, some personal stuff, all that good stuff. And all that really just adds up to make a great kind of just extra margin, extra bonus money for running this Amazon arbitrage business, right? So the next thing that will increase your profit margins on Amazon, this is something I've been kind of dabbling with a little bit more recently. That's going to be using discounted gift cards. So if you've never done it, I went ahead and pulled up this site called Raise. There's a bunch of different websites where you can buy gift cards. I know Rakuten also sells gift cards as well. There's a bunch of other sites out there, Card Cookie, Cards for Cash. Like there's a ton of different sites. So you can go out, you can buy gift cards for certain sites. So for example, let's say you're sourcing some inventory from Target. You could go in here. I'll usually kind of filter the discount from high to low. You can also look at the most expensive cards, so you're not punching in quite as many numbers when you're running checkouts. And this can just be a great way to go ahead and get a little bit of extra free money. In this case, I probably wouldn't buy these cards. A lot of times the credit card cashback is going to be better than that. And when you're using the credit card, you're going to be able to kind of carry that balance, pay it off a little bit later. Obviously not incurring interest, but that's another good benefit of using a credit card compared to buying gift cards. So in this case, these discounts aren't super steep, but every now and then you'll go in and you'll check Raise. A lot of times Rakuten, the rates on Rakuten will be really good. So this is a good example right here. So Bath & Body Works at 5%, Petco at 10% is also another great one. Like basically if you go in here and you can consistently use those gift cards on Petco, then anything on Petco is like 10% off to you essentially, right? If you're buying discounted dollars, that's a great way to go in and add to your margin. And that's something I've been taking advantage of a lot more recently because I was honestly kind of sleeping on gift cards until recently. So don't be like me, take advantage of that early on. Kind of had to relearn some habits, relearn how we do things in the business. Definitely continuing process, but definitely take advantage of these discounted gift cards. They can be massive if you know how to leverage them correctly. So then the next thing I want to talk about, we kind of briefly touched on it with the discounted gift cards there, is just using a good credit card. So this right here is the card that we put pretty much all of our spend on, this Spark 2% cash card. So with this one, you do have to pay it off every month. So if you're planning on using a credit card and carrying a balance, which I really wouldn't do unless you are super confident in what you're doing, you would not be able to do that with this card. This is a cash card, you have to pay it off every month, but you do get unlimited 2% cash back. This has been massive. And so I'll usually just get that cash back in the form of a check. And that's a great way to go ahead and add some extra margin, get that extra bonus money for your business. So then the next thing I want us to think about as you're trying to increase your margins in your Amazon business, let's say you're over here shopping from Ulta, or you're racking up some decent points, you're finding a lot of success with a brand like L'Oreal, for example, that would be a great time for you to go ahead and start dipping your toes into the wholesale world a little bit. So let's say you're sourcing a bunch of great L'Oreal products from Ulta. You've got 10, 20, 25 ASINs that are selling really well on Amazon. A lot of times you're going to be able to kind of leverage those leads. Go ahead and just, in this case, I searched L'Oreal L'Oreal distributor. And so from here, I would just start opening up, this wholesaler. There's going to be a ton of wholesalers here. And honestly, a lot of times you'll find like the best results, like way deep in the search results here. A lot of times the best distributors are not kind of targeting these keywords, all that good stuff. So like if we search L'Oreal distributor, there's a couple distributors I know a lot of people are very, very familiar with, kind of the super obvious, really easy to get distributors that don't typically have the best pricing. So I like to go pretty deep down into the list here, try to find the distributors that other people aren't looking for. As you scale your Amazon business, this is something that I'm going to be working on big time in 2023, is continuing to grow the distribution side of your business. As you're doing online arbitrage, you're going to be finding a ton of great inventory where maybe you bought it on sale and then the sale goes away and you can't buy that inventory for another month or two, right? The thing you can do to take advantage of the fact that item is crushing, you can buy it at a decently high price and still make money. If you're buying it from retail sites, still making money. That's where I would go out and start tracking down some wholesale suppliers for that very same ASIN that you just sourced. And a lot of times when you're looking through these distributors, it's going to be way cheaper than if you were buying it from Ulta. It's going to obviously pad your margin a lot from there. Another thing that's going to increase your margins as an Amazon seller is doing stuff like this, where on Walmart, you can actually go ahead and if you're sourcing a bunch of inventory from Walmart, you can go ahead and get tax exempt. So you do need to have a resale permit with your state for this to work. Depending on the state, you might need an LLC, all that good stuff. So this would be kind of, if you're a little bit more advanced seller, you got that formal company structure. But once you do have that resale permit, you can go ahead and upload that to sites like Walmart. There's not a ton of sites out there that actually do accept these tax exempt forms. Walmart is one of them. I think Lowe's is another one of them. There's a couple other that I can think of off the top of my head, but there's really not a ton. But this is just a great way to go in, make sure you're uploading that document. And for me, I started my Amazon business out of a state with 9.75% sales tax. So especially when I was starting, I kind of gravitated towards understanding Walmart just because getting tax exempt in Walmart was such a big deal, where all the other sites I was sourcing from, I was essentially paying an extra 10% compared to everyone else. As we're looking through this video, I'm sure you can see why having to pay an extra 10% would be massive for losing or gaining on your margins. So if you're like me and you're in a super high sales tax state, maybe you're in California, definitely gravitating towards those items where it's sales tax exempt. You can also start looking into prep centers that are in sales tax free states. That's getting a little bit more advanced on you there. But saving on sales tax is an amazing way to add that extra margin into your business. So make sure you go ahead and upload that sales tax exempt form to Walmart, all those sites, and then also start thinking about getting a sales tax free prep. Especially a lot of times you pay a prep center $1.50 a unit to prep your product, but you would save $5 in sales tax, right? So that would be where it's kind of a no-brainer to go ahead and set up that account with a sales tax free prep center. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and got a ton of value out of it. If you want my direct coaching for your Amazon business, I actually share a lot of the exact loyalty programs. I share the exact coupons, all that kind of stuff that I've gone out and abused to make a ton of money on Amazon. I share that inside the Lightspeed FBA coaching program. So if your Amazon business is already selling a little bit on Amazon, finding a little bit of success, and you've got capital to scale, you can go ahead and apply to work directly with me down below. I would love to kind of get a direct insight, get to know your business, and help you scale quickly. If you guys do have any questions or comments, I'm always happy to answer those down below as well. Feel free to drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. But I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and I will see you next time.